All signs point to this, as following the Lakers trade for Mark Williams being rescinded due to a failed physical, reports and rumors are starting to swirl surrounding the Lakers' next center. And who it is may surprise you. We're going to break down these reports and discuss what this means going forward as the Lakers prepare for the next move. But before we get into all that, folks, a quick reminder, if you're a part of that percentage who aren't subscribed to the channel, this is the place to be for daily Lakers content. Your guys' support has been absolutely unbelievable. If you want to help us towards that goal of 11,000 subscribers, we're about to hit it. And by the time this goes up, we may have already hit it. Make sure to smash that subscribe button. But ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot to go over today. We've obviously been talking about on this channel extensively, specifically regarding the Lakers' lack of a starting center. We know that Mark Williams, the trade didn't go through, ladies and gentlemen. It did not go through. Now, there's been a bunch of reports floating around, and we've seen, I made a video the other day on last night on Dwight Howard, who is possible. Lakers fans want that, but it's not super likely. But one that is super likely is also on this list that we've been using, and it is Daniel Theis. Now, this, out of all the players we've spoken about, whether it be JaVale McGee, Dwight Howard, Mo Bamba, this specific player is not only the most likely, but also probably the most quality NBA player. Now, he was acquired by the Oklahoma City Thunder and then was recently waived, which means he is available for a buyout, and the Lakers can do it. He makes less than $12.8 million, meaning that the Lakers, who are above the first apron, are able to acquire him. And Daniel Theis is the guy that it seems all signs are pointing to the Lakers signing him. Mo Bamba is also another guy that's heavily in the mix as well, but there's a bunch of different things to go over. We're going to go over the depth chart. We're going to go over all these things. But again, looking at the other bigs that are available, Bamba, Daniel Theis, Moses Brown, you're at 7, JaVale McGee, and Damian Jones. Now, when we're talking about bodies that you want surrounding the Lakers, buyout center, the market is very thin, and you're not going to be able to get a center near the caliber of Mark Williams. It's just not going to happen. Mark Williams is the center that would have fit this team perfectly, would have fit Luka Doncic perfectly, would have fit everybody perfectly. We all know that. Everybody in the Lakers, that is. And the trade was declined. Now, when you start to look at some of these other guys, what the Lakers really need, they have Jackson Hayes, they have a couple of other centers as well here. As you start to look at what this team could use going forward, you start to think about, hey, okay, we have Mo Bamba. Interesting. Can stretch the floor, is very good defensively. And then you have Daniel Theis, right? You have Daniel Theis. And of course, Trey Jemison is your backup center. Things are starting to get a little bit interesting there. And rumors are starting to swirl. A recent article dropped revealing the top 5 Lakers, buyout targets following the Mark Williams trade being declined. The Oklahoma City Thunder waived Daniel Theis 2 days ago to open a spot on the roster. With limited options, the Lakers could swoop in on a veteran center. Although undersized, Theis could give the Lakers a frontline boost in limited minutes. He played 38 games for the Pelicans this season, 9 as a starter, and averaged 4-4-2. He has seen most of the action among the prospects and is only 32. Theis could start or become a backup to Jackson Hayes. I mean, this signing, makes all the sense in the world. You're talking about a player now in Daniel Theis. Yes, we'll get into his stats in a minute. Yes, he's a little bit limited when it comes to his production, 4 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. But you're looking at players now who are limited, right? Like, you're not going to be able to get the starting centers that, you maybe could have gotten if you weren't a first apron team. But whether you're a first apron team or not, there's not many centers available on the market because most serviceable centers at this point in time are taken. And again, this Lakers depth chart is not updated. I'm sure it'll be updated soon. Luka, Reaves, Rui, LeBron. At the moment, your backup center is Trey Jemison, and your starting center would have to be Jackson Hayes, right? That is the only available center that you have at this moment. And they're going to be playing a ton of small ball. There's no doubt about it. The Lakers are going to be playing lineups with, depending where they go, Dorian Finney-Smith playing the pseudo 5. You're going to be having LeBron. You're going to be having Rui Hachimura. Like, a lineup of Luka, Reaves, Hachimura, Dorian Finney-Smith, LeBron is very possible. And they're going to be running lineups like that. Jared Vanderbilt running the 5. He's 6'8". He's a very big wing. He's a great defender. But him running the 5 is not something you expected. Now, when you're talking about Daniel Theis here, again, given the limited options, I actually really like what he can provide here. And his stats are interesting, so we can start and dive into him a little bit as well. He was very solid for the Clippers last season. He's played 38 games. Like, out of all these guys we're talking about, he's actually started games. He's played 9. He started 9 games this season for the Pelicans. And of course, last season with the Clippers, he played 59 games, and we saw him play a little bit in the playoffs as well. So 4 points a game. Again, you're not going to be getting much out of Daniel Theis, but he is a guy that is physical. You can throw him out there, and they would probably. Let me know down below if you think they would start Daniel Theis if they acquire him or not. He can stretch the floor a little bit. You think back to a couple seasons ago, he's shooting 3 threes a game, shooting 24%. Like, he can stretch the floor. He can hit the occasional midi. I actually think he'd be a pretty good fit alongside Luka, but the problem is he's not an athletic pick and roll guy offensively. Like, he's capable defensively. He's not very good defensively, though, is the problem. But if you're looking for a lob threat, I think you just pair Luka with Jackson Hayes. But if you're looking for someone who's a bit more sturdy, a bit more reliable with a higher floor, I think you go with Daniel Theis here. And again, you can give them a frontline boost in limited minutes. He's not going to be playing a lot of minutes. Now, whether he starts or not, of course, is the big question. Now, here's the updated chart here. You have Luka, Reaves, Rui, LeBron, and Jackson Hayes, right? So you look at the chart before with Mark Williams, look at the chart after with Jackson Hayes in there. You have Austin Reaves off the bench, Dalton Connect, LeBron, Jared Vanderbilt. Dalton Connect now is going to be, he's not playing 5, but he's going to be able to be off the bench and be a bit of a shooter for you. Daniel Theis fitting in there would be perfect. Perfect given the results. Is Daniel Theis a championship caliber center? Absolutely not. Do I think this team can still win the championship? Absolutely. It's going to be a by committee order at that center position. Now, whether that's Jackson Hayes, whether that's, Daniel Theis, assuming they go after him. Maybe it's Mo Bamba if they want to go bigger, someone who can stretch the floor a little bit more, be really tall, be really physical, all these different things. If you want to go that route, Mo Bamba can make a ton of sense. But regarding otherwise, you're in a very interesting spot here because they are handcuffed now. You cannot make a trade. You have to do it in the buyout market, and the buyout market is extremely thin. There's no doubt about it. And most is it's really a matter of if they want to go with someone who's more reliable and has been in the NBA for a while and can be physical, like a guy like Daniel Theis, or if they want to go someone who's just bigger, has more tangibles when it comes to wingspan, height, all these different things in Mo Bamba. But ladies and gentlemen, you look at the roster post deadline with Mark Williams. You now have to ship Mark Williams out, and I still think a starting lineup like Luka, Reaves, Dorian Finney-Smith, LeBron, and you put Rui Hachimura, Jared Vanderbilt in there, you're playing some really small lineups. You're going to have to run some small lineups because their centers are not going to be good enough. And against teams like Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets, you're going to be struggling. You need to get someone to the buyout market who can guard them. I don't think Daniel Theis is the best option for that, but among free agents available, they're going to have to get somebody. And regarding what they can actually do to open up, buyout room and things like that, and to open up the roster spot, because as of this moment, the roster spot is still occupied by Cam Reddish. I think the most likely outcome here, you can see this here by a guy on Reddit, Wave Reddish, and get a disabled trade exception for Wood. Daniel Theis, you are a Laker. So if he continues to be injured and all these different things, Christian Wood is showing no signs of coming back anytime soon. He's been injured the entire year. He's been pretty bad. And in his Lakers tenure, it seems like Daniel Theis is the most likely outcome. And I have a feeling that, LeBron and Luka, they'll probably make a bit of a push for a guy like Daniel Theis. He's been around. He's, won to a degree. He's been physical. He's played LeBron and Luka at times throughout their careers as well. So I think Daniel Theis is going to be the option. Let us know down below what your thoughts are. You think back to his days in Boston, he was a really solid center. I think he could be an energy guy, play a little bit of physical defense, and ultimately give them what they need, which is, some relief. Because Jackson Hayes is not going to be able to play 30 minutes a game. He's not capable of doing that, at a high level, and that's nothing against Jackson Hayes. And maybe he's going to prove me wrong. Maybe he can play 30, 35 minutes a game, be a starting center in this league, like they thought he was when he was a lottery pick from the Pelicans way back. But ultimately, it's going to be interesting. Let me know down below what your thoughts are. Thank you guys for watching. Cheers.